Hello, welcome. I hope you are doing very, very well. So today we've got some posts from AmITheDevil, possibly some from Am I the Hole, if I run out of posts from AmITheDevil. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, feel free to stick around and let's get into it. So the person that has reposted this has put, once wife, barefoot and pregnant. Am I the butthole for telling my wife I find her less attractive now that she's more attractive? Off to a pretty bad start, not gonna lie. So the OP says, for context, I, 32M, and my wife, 30F, have been together 9 going on 10 years, married for 8. We have 4 children, starting when my wife was 20. However, our first son passed away. That's really sad. I'm so sorry to hear that. So for most of our 20s, my wife was pregnant or we were raising small children. Obviously, I found my wife attractive. Throughout the years, her weight fluctuated and she had a farmhouse style, like long flower dresses, etc. She also never really seemed to care about her looks or clothing's much. She's always been into gardening, baking, art, never was into makeup or anything. That's absolutely fine if that's your thing, you don't have to be. Fast forward to the last year and a half. She lost a good bit of weight, is very stylish, more form-fitting outfits, more modern style. Always has a new hairstyle and is very good with makeup. From a conventional standpoint, she's probably more attractive than before, bordering social media beauty standards. Love that for her. If she's having a little bit of a glow up, let her be. She probably feels so good changing it up. I know sometimes I go through periods of looking like an absolute troll under a bridge, and then other times I'll be like, nah, I'm going to make an effort, do my skincare every day, do my makeup every day, and then I feel good for it. It's absolutely fine to do that. People are always stopping and complimenting her. She gets free things. If we go to the bar, people are buying her drinks. My family comments. Okay, so we're getting into the nitty gritty of what he really has a problem with, I think, here. I just don't think he likes that she's getting attention. Anyway, I brought her to her change in style and whatnot, asking her if she's being her authentic self or just trying to please others. She claims she is being authentic, that she didn't know who she was at 20 and she spent so much time being a wife and a mother that she just never really found herself. But now she finally is choosing to. She asked me what the problem was, and I told her, honestly, I didn't really like it, and I preferred her look and style before. That I actually found her more attractive before. I 100% get that, finding yourself after you've had kids, and they're older, and you can kind of have more time to concentrate on yourself, because, yeah, I feel like for a good while, after I'd had my kids, I completely lost my sense of self, 100%. And it's such a good feeling when you get that sense of self back. Like, he shouldn't be mad at her for that. He should feel good for her, that she's feeling good. She called me an a-hole and said that if I liked her, unhealthy and depressed, that says a lot about me. It really does. And that I should be happy she's finally finding herself. I get it, but at the same time, I feel like she has to understand that I wouldn't have ever dating a 10 for the reason. Oh, I would never have dated a 10 for the reasons coming up now. I assume that's supposed to say. So, am I the butthole? Yeah, you are. If that's the way she wants to look now, she wants to look like that, that's fine. If you really don't like it, you are welcome to say, look, I am going to cut this short right here. We are going to, break up because you're not someone I want anymore. As harsh as it is to say that, you are within your rights to say that. If anyone ever is in a relationship and it changes, the dynamics change and you don't like it anymore, you address it, the other person doesn't want to go back to the old dynamics, that's fine. It's fine for you both to feel the way you feel. Sometimes you have to accept that there now is an air of incompatibility that you've got to deal with, and quite often that will then lead to, well, should we break up? But you can't sit there and tell her how she can dress, how she can do her makeup, how she should feel good. And to be quite honest, quite a lot of the time, I do wonder if it's some sort of weird fetish, when guys just want the woman downtrodden and spitting out babies like there's no tomorrow. It's weird to me. I would think you'd be happy for your partner finding a sense of self-confidence, but that's just me. Yeah, definitely you are the butthole. I am afraid, my dear. I also just want to add in on the end there that this can also be a sign of a controlling relationship. Your partner doesn't want you looking good because they feel that that is a threat to the relationship. They don't want you looking good because they feel like if you feel bad about yourself or you perceive that you don't look good, that you are not going to go anywhere else. So I do feel like a lot of the time that this can be a big old red flag for controlling coercive behaviour. So if you're in that kind of a situation, take a step back, take a real good look at it, and make sure that that is not what is going on. Either way, it's gross for either reason, whether it's just something that the other person just is into and feels like you should do, because I feel like you shouldn't be into an aesthetic that hard. You know, it should be more about the person and not the way that they decide to dress, unless they're like really unhygienic or something. But yeah, either way, it's gross, but it's definitely a good idea to take a step back and really analyze the situation and make sure that you are not hurtling headfirst into a controlling relationship situation. Anyway, moving on from that one. Okay, so the person who reposted this to Am I the Devil has said, "Am I the butthole for excluding my female co-worker?" And we all know what undertones that has. So the poster said, "Am I the butthole for not inviting one of my co-workers to the success party of a project that she worked on?" And just from that, I can probably say, yes, you are. I mean, the fact that you're an Am I the Devil probably says, yes, you are. But still, I will hold my judgment again until I have fully read the post. I'll try hold my judgment, should I say. So the original poster said, "I, 30M, worked on a high-risk project with 3 colleagues, Jake, 28M, Dave, 30M, and Sarah, 37F. Jake and Dave are close friends of mine, but Sarah is just a co-worker. We're cordial at work, but we don't hang out outside the office. This project was massive and incredibly stressful for us all. We were on edge until last week when it became clear it would be a success. To celebrate, I invited Jake and Dave to dinner at a fancy restaurant. We splurged and had a great time. It was just a casual gathering to unwind and relax. Dave posted pics on Instagram and Sarah found out. She texted me furious and disappointed, saying I'd intentionally excluded her and it was sexist and unprofessional. She claimed I should have invited the whole team, including her, and that my actions were a slap in the face to her hard work. I completely understand why she'd feel like that. I explained to her it was just to get together with friends to unwind and relax, and not an official project celebration. I also told her that if there's any official success party or gathering, she would definitely be invited. Sarah still thinks I'm in the wrong, saying I should have included her regardless. I've known Jake and Dave for a long time, and Sarah isn't friends with any of us. Honestly, I didn't think she'd want to join us, and it would have been awkward." Edit. Some people seem to be misunderstanding the word celebrate and official celebration. Nowhere was it said that this was at a work event. This was not, or a celebration party. The project still isn't officially done. Last week we just got the hint that it's most likely going to be a success once it's finished, and once that happens, the company would throw a celebratory event. That's the official celebration to which everyone would be invited. This was a dinner organised by my friends and I at personal expense. See, now, this is where I might differ greatly in opinion. I actually genuinely think that if it was just to get together with mates to celebrate that they've done it, just to be, they're friends, you know, they're a friend group, and they're going, oh, we're nearly done with this and it looks like it's going to be okay. Should we go have a few drinks just as mates? I actually don't see the problem with that because, you know, it's not the official success party. It's not like it was a planned, oh, this is officially to celebrate it. I do get that. However, because there was 4 of you working on the project, and because you did say that you were celebrating nearing the end and the hopeful success of your project, I do think that you should have at least extended an invite to Sarah, just out of pure niceness. And, you know, it's including her when she's done a lot of work as well. It's a nice way to acknowledge that she's done a lot of work on the project as well. Do I think it's a bad thing that you went out for drinks with friends? No. Do I think it's a bad thing you went out with drinks with friends because you were excited about the project possibly being very successful? No. Do I think you should have extended an invitation to Sarah because she also put a lot of work in? Yes. Would it have been the right thing to do? Yes. So I don't think you've purposefully been the arsehole, but I do think you are an arsehole, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm purposefully leaving the title off of this one because I feel like it completely spoils the context of the post. So we will just read the OP's original post. So this one says, am I the butthole for storming out of my fiance's place and refusing to answer his phone calls because he took my pain medication from me along with other painkillers in the apartment? One night I woke up with extreme tooth pain. Luckily my fiance had plenty of prescription painkillers. Later I went to the dentist. I got all my wisdom teeth pulled. Ouch. I have a wisdom tooth that is like half ruptured, half not. My dentist is keeping a really close eye on it. But I am not having that thing pulled unless it starts to show signs that it might cause a problem. But at the moment, it's absolutely fine because it terrifies me. I'm not scared of having dental work done, the injections, anything like that. But being so far back in your mouth, basically having a stranger's fist in your mouth, no thank you. So unfortunately, the healing process was equally painful. For the last 5 to 6 days, I've been in hell. Oh, bless you. I started taking pain pills every time the pills wore off, rather than every 6 hours as needed, which was around 1 to 2 hours. Do not do that. Anybody listening who has to take pain medication for something, maybe you've had an operation or whatever, don't ever take them any sooner than the allotted time slots. You could genuinely off yourself or give yourselves organ damage. Don't do that. Very, very dangerous. Once my fiance realised how often I was taking the pills, he took my medication and gathered up all the prescription painkillers he had, locking them in his safe. Good on him. He told me he would be working from home for the next few days so he could administer the meds as prescribed. I exploded, telling him he doesn't get to control what I do or manage my healthcare, that I was in extreme pain. Now, let me tell you, I have a pain condition. I try not to take painkillers because I am obviously very aware of how dangerous they are, addictive they are, all of those things. So I try not to take them unless I really, really have to, because they are not great for your body. And if you overtake or take painkillers for an extended amount of time, you can get this kind of like paradoxical condition where you might not actually have anything that's causing you pain, but if you don't take the painkillers, your body thinks you're in pain. Or the painkillers stop working as effectively and don't mask the pain as they would do. So use painkillers only when extremely necessary, only when you have to, and don't take them for long periods of time if you can help it. Find other methods, see specialists, things like that. Just try not to take painkillers unless it's absolutely medically necessary. Then he blamed me for my own pain, saying he's been telling me to get my wisdom teeth removed for months, ever since the first time they caused me pain. I screamed at him it's really his fault because of his refusal to stand up to his mum. What? Then I had to be around constantly, or with the wedding planner, otherwise she'll take full control of our wedding. All he did was brush that off as unrelated. That's very much unrelated, yes. You are coming across as, unfortunately, somebody who's having issues with addiction right now. After that, I stormed out of the apartment, staying with one of my sisters, who I knew always had painkillers for the last couple of days. Not once have I answered his calls. Now that my pain has gone down, I begin to wonder if I was being an oversensitive a-hole and need to swallow my pride to apologise. I think definitely, and I would absolutely encourage anyone that's experiencing something similar to go and talk to their GP, because it's extremely worrying how quick you can get dependent on painkillers psychologically, and then you think you need them, you continue taking them, and before you know it, boom, addiction. So definitely go and speak to a doctor if you are experiencing something very similar. I would say this person's probably experiencing the beginnings of addiction with the pain meds, and it's probably not her fault. You know, she was taking them far too frequently beforehand, but addiction creeps up on anyone. Anyone can all of a sudden become addicted to something that they never thought they would. So it's not her fault necessarily, it's happened. No one wants to be addicted to things that are bad for them. However, she's got to take responsibility and go and speak to the flaming doctor. Go and get it sorted. So yes, unfortunately, the a-hole, but I feel that there is medical things going on there. So the a-hole, if you don't give yourself a shake and go and get it sorted. So I have already tried recording this one about 1 million times now, but my goodness, put in some paragraphs, please. It makes it so much easier. Anyway, Am I the butthole? My son's girlfriend had me thrown out of the hospital. My son has a congenital heart condition. I didn't know when he was born, but at 9 days old, he had his first open heart surgery with a valve replacement. I can imagine that was very scary. Over the years, he has many different surgeries and recently had his fourth aortic valve replacement due to a bacterial infection and truly almost died. He's 29 and doing great now. He has a girlfriend with whom he has lived with for 4 years now, and this was the very first time she had been in this situation, so I understand that it is very scary. Because of the circumstances, she and I stayed in a hotel for a few nights together. She paid for it, most of it in fact. One day I asked my son if he wanted me to leave and let him and his girlfriend have some days to themselves, and I would go back home and see him in a few days. All good, and I go back home. We text and talk every day, and I visit on the days he asked me to come down. Surgery is scheduled, and I know that he wants his girlfriend to be the last person he sees, so I'm not even there when he goes in for surgery. Due to the bad infection and the damage to his heart valve, the surgeon calls me as his next of kin and asks for permission for things to which I agree. One was an induced coma. I call his girlfriend and explain all of it to her. I rush to the hospital, sign all the consent papers, and sit with my son, who's on a breathing machine in a coma. His girlfriend had plans with her family that day, and when he was wheeled into surgery, I told him I would call her and tell her he loves her, and I do. Am I the butthole? Because 8 hours later, I see his girlfriend in the family waiting room and she starts screaming that I'm a psycho, call security. Hey? What? As calm as I can be, I say, girlfriend, he can have 5 wives, but he only has one mother. Oh, here we go. And I walked out. Next day, I don't know what she told my son, less than 12 hours after all of that, but I am no longer his next of kin or even allowed at the hospital anymore, having been told in a text, am I the butthole? I didn't fight about it. I didn't go back. Nothing. Now they're in counselling. No shame in that, in my opinion. And my son sent me a text saying that his life is off the rails because I hate his girlfriend, I'm a psycho, and I lied about what happened to the family in the family waiting room. Am I the butthole? Facts be facts is all I'm saying. And I know the girlfriend must have been scared, but there's no ring. I say it once more. Am I the butthole because I said my son could have 5 wives but only has one mum? Yeah. It's giving boy mum. It's giving crazy boy mum. And we all know what those be like. Oh my goodness, yeah. Like, it's all good and well until then. I mean, I have a feeling that maybe she wasn't supposed to be his next of kin. And the girlfriend was. Maybe there was a mess up at the hospital and the mother decided not to correct that. I have a feeling that might be why the girlfriend was absolutely fuming. But still, saying, oh, he could have 5 wives, but he only has one mum is essentially basically saying you're meaningless in the grand scheme of things in his life, which is not for you to say. So yeah, you are the butthole for that. Absolutely. But we are probably missing some context. I have a feeling that the mum has completely glossed over some things that she has done. Okay, so this one is, am I the butthole for choosing our kids over her? So we had a dog for 5 years and she died in December. My kids, 19 twins, 15 and 13, and I and my wife were heartbroken. It was a short illness, 2 weeks, and then she died. That is very quick, isn't it, really? My wife wanted a new dog almost right away. Days. She kept showing us pictures of puppies and saying, see how cute, we should get this one. The kids wouldn't even look at the phone, and I knew they were crying in the other room. I don't know how to help my kids grieve. Finally, she just went and got a puppy and brought it home. No thought to how much work a puppy is, no thought to how anyone was feeling. Now my house is a cold war. The kids won't talk to their mum. They leave the room when the dog comes in. She won't listen to me. You and the kids just need to get over it and learn to love the new dog. I just can't get past how she has hurt the kids. She won't recognise that she made a mistake or try to reach out to them. The only thing you want is to make me give away my dog. Okay, I'm going to have to add in some little bits that the OP has not added in here, just so we know when someone's talking, because to a listener, I imagine it's quite confusing. So from now on, when the mum speaks, I'm going to say she says afterwards. And she's mad that the kids are mad. I make all the breakfast, lunches and dinners, do everyone's laundry, clean the house, drive you kids to all the things. I don't know what else to do. Why are you mad? I'm not giving away the dog. You need to get over the old dog and stop being mad at me, she says. I'm the one talking to my kids about how they are feeling every night. I can't explain why their mum would do something so heartless. I can't forgive her for hurting our kids. We tried family therapy, but she mostly pouted and said we were all ganging up on her. She wouldn't make a move towards recognizing that she caused pain and doesn't think she can do anything more than she is doing. We just need to stop being sad and angry. Recently, she said she was mad because we are supposed to be a united front as parents. I said I couldn't support what she was doing. My heart is breaking that my kids won't have a relationship with their mother soon. Am I the butthole for not taking her side and forcing the kids to forgive her? I am confused on why this one is in Am I the Devil, to be honest, because I think they're both massive bells, to be quite fair. I feel like the dad is not doing as much as he thinks he's doing as far as to try and, fix the situation. He even said there himself, I don't know how to help my kids grieve. Start there, figure out a way to help them. The mum is trying to do something. She's tried to do something to help them, and now she's offended because it hasn't worked. They're both basically taking it personally that they can't be the better parent. That's what it is. It feels like a competition between the two parents, and the kids are the ones in the middle. So I feel like both parents are buttholes. I feel like they're both not really listening to the kids at all. The mum definitely shouldn't have gone and got the new dog. The dad should definitely sit down and try and figure out ways to help his kids grieve if the mum's not interested. Obviously, it should be both of their job, but if she's not going to do it, then, him just sitting there going, oh, well, I don't know what to do. Not my problem anymore. Although, obviously, we're having some family counselling by the looks of it, but still, that can only go so far. So I think they're both buttholes, basically, is my conclusion on that one. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for today. I'd be very interested to see what your opinions on these stories is. So if you have any opinions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Respectful opinions, of course. Only respectful. But I'd be really interested to see what other people's opinions are, see if they're different than mine. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to the end. If you have made it to the end, feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, because then you can come back and listen to more. I will be posting every single day because apparently I don't have a life. No, I'm only joking. I absolutely have a life, but I actually enjoy reading these. So yeah, I'll be posting one every single day, and I would really, really appreciate any, likes and subscribes, because that will help me out a whole bunch. I'm going to now go and get myself a cup of coffee and some chocolate biscuits because I'm starving and it's cold. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.